An insecure and turbulent period for the transatlantic alliance arose along with Trump's new presidency. Trump's open admiration for Russian President Vladimir Putin and his consistent criticism of NATO created deep rifts within the organization. He repeatedly questioned the value of NATO, deeming it obsolete and financially burdensome for the United States. Trump demanded European nations increase their defense spending to 5% of their GDP, a target far exceeding the agreed-upon 2% benchmark. This demand, often delivered through fiery rhetoric and public pronouncements, strained relations with key European allies. Trump's pro-Russian stance, coupled with his skepticism towards NATO, sent shockwaves through Europe. His August 2019 decision to withdraw the US from the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty had already heightened anxieties. Now, European leaders, long accustomed to American leadership in security matters, are beginning to question more and more each day the reliability of their transatlantic partner. The US commitment to European security, once considered ironclad, appeared increasingly uncertain. This uncertainty, fueled by Trump's unpredictable pronouncements and actions, served as a wake-up call for Europe. The US withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021, chaotic and poorly executed, amplified European concerns about American reliability. The fall of Kabul to the Taliban, witnessed by the world in real time, served as a stark reminder of the changing global landscape. It became clear that relying solely on the US for security was no longer a viable option for Europe. A new era was dawning, one marked by uncertainty and the need for greater self-reliance. Europe, long sheltered under the American security umbrella, had to confront a new reality. Trump's tenure, while undoubtedly disruptive, inadvertently spurred a long overdue conversation within Europe. The continent, lulled into a sense of security by the post-Cold War order, was forced to confront its vulnerabilities. The US, once seen as the guarantor of European security, was now perceived as an unreliable partner. This realization, unsettling as it was, proved to be a catalyst for change. Europe, facing a resurgent Russia and an increasingly multipolar world, embarked on a path of rearmament and strategic autonomy. The shift in European defense posture was not immediate, but gradual and multifaceted. The first signs of change were evident in increased defense budgets. Across the continent, from Germany to Poland, nations announced plans to modernize their armed forces and boost military spending. This renewed focus on defense was a direct response to the perceived threat from Russia, particularly following its annexation of Crimea in 2014 and its ongoing aggression in eastern Ukraine. The rearmament drive took different forms across Europe. Germany, long hesitant to embrace a more assertive military posture, announced plans to increase its defense budget significantly. France, already a major military power, sought to enhance its capabilities in areas like cyber warfare and space. Smaller nations like Poland and the Baltic states, acutely aware of their vulnerability to Russian aggression, prioritized territorial defense and strengthened their military ties with NATO allies. The rearmament effort was not merely about acquiring new weapon systems, it was about rebuilding military capabilities that had atrophied during the relatively peaceful post-Cold War era. This meant investing in training, logistics, and intelligence gathering, areas often neglected during times of peace. It also meant reintroducing conscription in some countries and expanding the reserve forces in others. The goal was not to match Russia's military might directly, but to create a credible deterrent and enhance Europe's ability to defend itself. The resurgence of the defense industry was another visible sign of Europe's military awakening. Across the continent, dormant factories roared back to life, producing everything from tanks and fighter jets to drones and cyber warfare systems. This revitalized defense sector not only strengthened Europe's military capabilities, but also provided a much-needed boost to its economies. The creation of new jobs and the development of cutting-edge technologies had ripple effects throughout the European economy, demonstrating the potential of a robust defense industrial base. Recognizing the limitations of individual national efforts, European nations also embarked on a path of increased defense cooperation. The European Union, long criticized for its lack of a unified defense policy, took significant strides towards greater integration in this realm. The European Defence Fund, established in 2017, provided funding for joint research and development projects, fostering collaboration among European defence industries. The Permanent Structured Cooperation, launched in 2017, allowed EU member states to cooperate more closely on defence projects. This framework enabled nations to pool resources, share expertise, and develop joint military capabilities. Several PESCO projects focused on areas like military mobility, cyber defense, and maritime security, reflecting the evolving nature of threats facing Europe. This enhanced cooperation, while still in its early stages, demonstrated a growing willingness among European nations to work together on defense matters. Beyond formal EU structures, bilateral and multilateral defense cooperation also flourished. The Nordic countries, facing a resurgent Russia in the Baltic Sea region, deepened their defense ties through joint exercises and information sharing. France and Germany, the traditional engines of European integration, launched several joint defense initiatives, including the development of a next-generation fighter jet. This web of bilateral and multilateral collaborations, driven by shared security concerns, contributed to a more cohesive and capable European defense architecture. The increased cooperation was not limited to Europe alone. NATO, revitalized by the renewed sense of purpose, strengthened its presence in Eastern Europe, deploying multinational battle groups to Poland and the Baltic states. NATO also enhanced its rapid reaction force and conducted large-scale military exercises to deter potential aggression. The transatlantic alliance, while strained by Trump's presidency, proved its enduring relevance in a world grappling with new and evolving threats. Europe, while increasingly self-reliant, recognized the continued importance of NATO as a cornerstone of its security. The idea of a European army has been debated for decades, often dismissed as a utopian vision. However, the shifting geopolitical landscape, coupled with the Trump administration's unpredictable foreign policy, breathed new life into this concept. While a fully integrated European army remains a distant prospect, the idea gained traction in European capitals. Proponents argued that a unified European military force would enhance the continent's strategic autonomy, reduce its reliance on the US, and allow for a more efficient use of resources. The benefits of a united European military are manifold. It would allow for greater specialization and burden sharing among member states. For example, some nations could focus on developing naval capabilities, while others could specialize in air power or cyber defense. This specialization, combined with joint procurement and training, would lead to cost savings and greater efficiency. Moreover, a unified European military would project a more formidable image on the world stage, enhancing the continent's ability to deter aggression and defend its interests. The path towards a European army, however, is fraught with challenges. Overcoming national sensitivities and relinquishing sovereignty over defense matters is a tall order. The lack of a common strategic culture and differing threat perceptions among member states further complicate matters. Moreover, the financial and logistical hurdles of integrating the diverse armed forces of 27 member states are substantial. Despite these challenges, the idea of a European army, once confined to the realm of academic debates, has gained a newfound urgency in the wake of Trump's disruptive presidency. The full realization of a European army may still be years, if not decades, away. However, the steps taken by European nations in recent years, increased defense spending, enhanced cooperation, and the revitalization of the defense industry, have laid the groundwork for a more integrated European defense architecture. The Trump presidency, while undoubtedly a disruptive force in transatlantic relations, may have inadvertently set in motion a process that will ultimately lead to a more self-reliant and strategically autonomous Europe. In a world grappling with uncertainty and shifting power dynamics, a united and capable Europe is essential for maintaining global stability and upholding the rules-based international order. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates on Europe's defense strategies and other global events.